Obviously, first press conference since our game last Thursday night, and our players are disappointed in the outcome. But what a great setting to kick off the season. I just thought, being able to play in Bank of America Stadium in front of a crowd like that, a lot of enthusiastic Pirates down there, along with the Appalachian State faithful, and it was just a great stage, and it's great to have fans back in the stands, and so just a very electric environment to start the season off in. Our kids went into the game expecting to win, and so anytime you go in and you put that much into it, you're disappointed if the outcome doesn't go your way. But so much for us to build on from that game, and lots of positives and lots of things we need to do better. So hats off. Like I said last Thursday night, I just thought Appalachian State is a very, very good football team, and they look like the experienced veteran crew that they are, and I would expect them to go on and have a great year. So we're excited on growing from that experience, and excited about the matchup this weekend back in Daddy-Ficklin with the South Carolina Gamecocks, and it's going to be great to be back at home. It's going to be great to have our fans back in the stands. You think my first year 2 years ago, got to experience game day here, and I just completely missed it last year. It's just such a weird kind of deal, just playing in empty stadiums, and so it's going to be so exciting to have the Pirate Walk back. Pirate Walk will be at 9:30 Saturday morning. Excited to see our fans out for that, tailgating. Doing what is the norm around here, and really looking forward to a very loud and boisterous Daddy-Ficklin Stadium on Saturday.
Coach, when you look at South Carolina, besides the SEC size, which is the obvious thing, what's the thing that kind of stands out to you about the Gamecocks when you take a look at them?
Well, I think size and athleticism. I mean, it's their front, big and athletic up front on both sides of the football. They have very good athletes at all the stand-up skill positions on offense and defense. And they did not have Harris last Saturday night. He'll play against us this Saturday, and he was I think the leading rusher in the Southeastern Conference last year. So obviously a great offensive player there. So their personnel is very good, and I think that it was a good showing by them last Saturday night. They had a game where they were able to work out some kinks and have a successful start, and so I know that they'll be excited for this game this Saturday.
Just looking at some personnel stuff, Bailey Malvin went out during that game. Obviously, do you have a kind of official update with him, and then how have you shuffled the offensive line and all? Where does that kind of stand at this point for the week?
Well, unfortunately, Bailey's going to miss the rest of the year, and it's I hate it, and it was a freak deal too. I mean, it was one of those. It wasn't a contact play. He got just twisted a little bit, but he'll have surgery here in the coming weeks. And the good thing with Bailey, he's worked so hard to develop his body. He'll make a good recovery, and we want to support him through that. But he's still got some time left in his career here, so just have to get him back healthy for next year. But the fortunate thing is, Noah Henderson, who's worked very, very hard to come back from injury after missing all of last year. I thought he stepped in and played very well in Bailey's absence. And I think it's, with Noah, he's going to continue to improve just because the only issues with him is just rust, not playing for, a year and a half, 2 years. So, he played very well for us in 2019. So, I think he can return to that form, and so you got some other guys who have to step up, but those guys have experience, whether it's Walt Stribling or Rob Vanderland. Those guys will be in the rotation now.
Coach, kind of following up with the offensive line and the blitz package you saw against App State. Do you expect blitzes again this week against South Carolina?
Well, I would expect to see that pretty regularly. I thought App did a great job of mixing up pressure and playing coverage. I thought that was. Yeah, we.
No! Hey, can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
All right. Sorry about that. I guess everybody didn't get the memo. But, I thought App did a good job mixing up, playing coverage and pressure. South Carolina, Clayton White, the defense coordinator at South Carolina, did a great job at Western Kentucky. And he's got a great scheme. So I do expect to see a good bit of pressure this week.
Coach, as you take a look at the tape from last week, I know there were a couple of issues with the kicking game. Was it more of the hold? Was it the snap? Was it the blocking? Was it the kicker? What adjustments do you plan to make, if any, in the kicking game this week?
Well, I think we only had one issue. It was on the first one, and it was a mix-up between the snapper and the holder. Just it's one of those things that can happen there in a first game, and we got that corrected immediately. So I thought we did a good job the rest of the night.
Coach, when you watched the film, what was the balance between maybe App and beat you guys, with their scheme versus fixable mistakes on you guys' end?
Well, I think it depends on where you're talking, whether it's offense, defense, or wherever. The thing that defensively that, is very fixable is I just thought the speed of their offensive front and the way they executed created some situations where we had some guys miss some gaps. We're moving, they're moving. They move a heck of a lot faster than our scout team guys did during practice, and we overshot a gap every once in a while. And when that happens, you're going to have a big play. And so that's where some of those 10, 15-yard runs scored it out on us. So it's something we've very conscientious of. We talked about it on Friday, game speed versus preseason speed. And so I think it was a great experience for our guys. Those D linemen, they got some experience last year. Okay, but it's just another reminder, for them, just how fast game speed is. I think when you look at offensively, it was just execution, and you look at the frustrating thing. It wasn't one guy, but it was maybe 6 or 7 guys one time, and you put all that together, and you look up, and it looks like you had more issues than you had. But I do feel like those issues are fixable, and I think most teams. Have some mistakes there in game one, and you see them fixed, from week 1 to week 2. That's where you see the improvement. That was one of the things I thought that was most impressive about App State's performance is I didn't think they had many mistakes. I mean, I thought they played like a veteran, a veteran roster.
Coach, obviously, talk about your running backs a little bit. They're electric when they have the ball in their hands, but they also need to make plays when the ball is not in their hands.
Right.
Picking up blitz packages and stuff like that. What do you want to see as the season progresses from those guys when the ball isn't in their hands, trying to pick up blitzes and such?
Well, that's the old adage is, be a better player without the ball than you are with the ball. And that's, that's really the key to becoming, a top-end player. And, Raji and Keaton both had one bust in protection, but having one bust in protection, well, that's 2 pressures on a quarterback. So their number one thing is take care of the football and take care of the quarterback. That's kind of their motto in that room. So they take a lot of pride in that. They're very motivated by that. So it's something they have improved on since last year. And so again, game speed versus practice speed, they'll be more prepared this week for that. But certainly. They did do some, very good things with the ball in their hands, though.
With Rick DeBrew, how did he grade out kind of in the second half? It's kind of a tough deal for him to only play a half.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm sure he's kind of ready to get a full game this week.
Yeah, I didn't think he played at the level he's capable of. I think he's probably a little frustrated with that, too. I mean, it's a hard deal, sitting the whole first half and then, jumping into a game midstream because, everybody else is kind of in the flow of it. But, the good thing is we have him from the beginning this week.
How good was it to see Josiah step up and make some big plays and really every catchable ball his way? He
Right.
made a catch, and how big of a part of the offense can he be going forward?
Yeah, and then he drew the pass interference on the other ball too. So it's really good. He's a guy that I've said a couple times. We were recruiting him very heavily at James Madison when I was there. Glad we were able to get him signed when I got here. But has a lot of ability. Has worked very, very hard. And so I'm just excited to see. He had a good, solid game last week. Would like to see him follow it up this week.
There was a lot of talk about the tight end room growing for this season. How would you evaluate how they did, and how do you get them more involved?
I think some good and some bad. I mean, it's, Ryan had the touchdown catch there late in the game. Shane was battling a minor injury from the preseason camp, and so, probably did not play as much as he will moving forward. But those two guys, along with, Zach Bird and Aaron Jarman, they all played. I thought that we did some really good things in the run game. I thought Zach Bird did a good job at the point of attack. They're all different, and so they're going to be a big part of our offense. They were last week. They will be moving forward.
From playing on a Thursday, you have some extra time, extra practices to some extent for this one. I mean, in general, what has the response been since then, as far as just the mood and guys being able to kind of bounce back? Have you been pleased with that?
Well, I thought, Sunday's really the only time we've had with the guys. Our staff, most of our staff stayed in Charlotte and dispersed from there, and we're on the road recruiting Friday for the first time in 2 years. So, we were in the office on Saturday, really spending a lot of time with the Appalachian State game, and then, going over everything for South Carolina, so we'd be prepared to, use that game Saturday night. So Sunday was our big work day as far as, getting the App State game evaluated with our players. And then getting out on the field. And so I thought they came back, good attitudes. Like I said, they're disappointed. But, I think, fully by yesterday, that was their day off or their normal day off. And they were around the facility throughout the day, checking in on the game plan and all that stuff and everything. So I would expect us to have a very energetic and enthusiastic practice today to get ready for Saturday.
Coach, I would assume this will be one of the biggest crowds in probably 4 or 5 years. How much can that mean to this team, and how much can they feed off that going into Saturday?
I think it'll mean a lot. It's probably going to be the biggest crowd since I've been here. The funny thing is we got in last week and started talking to our players, and most of them, that was the biggest crowd they'd ever played in front of last week, because most of them last year was their first year of college football. So I think they're excited about it. It'll obviously be electric. It's one of the reasons that so many of them came here to East Carolina is because of Pirate Nation and Dowdy Ficklen Stadium, the way it is on game day. So I think it's something that should be a great home field advantage and something for them to feed off of.
Coach, ECU is 4-19 all-time against SEC schools, all 4 wins being against South Carolina. Just at this point of the season where you guys are right now, does the team need to face a quality team in the SEC like this to kind of get things going here?
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with where they're from. I mean, we faced a quality team last Thursday night. I mean, I'm telling you, Appalachian State's a top 25 team, nationally. So we faced a quality opponent. We're facing another quality opponent. So I think it's just they're the next one. Everybody puts a lot of attention on them because of the conference they come from. But there's good teams across this country everywhere.
Any other questions for Coach Houston?
Okay, thanks a lot. See you Saturday.